China's military aggression and dominance in the Indo-Pacific region has brought together US, Japan and the Philippines. The White House hosted the first trilateral meeting between the leaders of these nations. And President Joe Biden gathered Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida for a first-of-its-kind White House summit in a bid to show that they are in lockstep about countering China's military assertiveness in the region, in the Indo-Pacific specifically. During opening remarks, the US President declared the trilateral summit with Japan and the Philippines as a new era of partnership. Biden said he was committed to deepening maritime and security ties with the two allies, further adding that Washington's support for Manila and Tokyo is ironclad, as he assured his allies worried about increasingly assertive Chinese actions in the disputed waters.
President, Mr. Prime Minister, today we mark a historic moment, the first ever Leaders Summit between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. And it's truly an honor to have you both here as we begin this new era of partnership. The United States defense commitments to Japan and to the Philippines are ironclad. They're ironclad.
Long-simmering tensions between China and its neighbors took the center stage. According to the White House, the leaders have agreed to step up military exercises, including plans for Philippine and Japanese Coast Guard members to patrol. Of course, to patrol aboard a U.S. Coast Guard vessel in the Indo-Pacific. Now, the allies also plan to conduct more training exercises at sea.
Japan, the US, and the Philippines are maritime nations connected by the Pacific Ocean and are natural partners. We share fundamental values and principles and have supported regional economic development. In order to secure peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific, I hope to reaffirm our intention to further strengthen trilateral cooperation and to present the specific way forward through today's meeting.
Maritime security topped the summit agenda following a series of incidents, including Chinese Coast Guard ships firing water cannons last month at a civilian Filipino boat. And this comes as China claims almost the entire South China Sea, including the maritime economic zones of neighboring nations. The second Thomas Shoal is within the Philippines' 320-kilometer exclusive economic zone. Meanwhile, during the trilateral, Biden also announced that the three nations are launching a new economic corridor in the Philippines as part of the G7 Partnership for Global Infrastructure Investment. According to the American president, the economic corridor will help develop clean energy, port, agriculture and other projects in the country. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sent us this report from New York earlier. Listen in.
U.S. President Joe Biden has reaffirmed the U.S.'s commitment to its Pacific allies, notably the Philippines and Japan, amid concerns about China's military actions in the Indo-Pacific region. He emphasized that the U.S. defense commitment is quote-unquote ironclad and that any attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea would trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty between the two countries. This comes as China has been engaging in what some call gray zone harassment, including shining military-grade lasers and ramming into Philippine ships. The U.S. has been working to strengthen its alliance in the region with a focus on countering China's influence. The trilateral summit with Japan and the Philippines aims to send a message that China is the outlier in the neighborhood.